Wheeler used to be the agent of a manic-depressive celebrity writer, Alan Wake. Wake had various addictions on his back, an on-off death wish. Wheeler had seen a thing or two. Wheeler paid a lot of money for a good shrink. Got himself convinced that all the nightmares he'd seen leading up to Wake drowning himself were just his imagination. PTSD. Now he had pills to keep the shadows from his sleep. But the Andersons were something else. The nightmares were starting to creep in again. Or maybe it was the drugs in the air. Wheeler hoped it was the drugs. The Andersons were so old. Vampires. After every gig and the party that followed, took them weeks to bounce back. And they never did completely. Each time Wheeler expected them to croak. Emmett Elwood had had enough. All his life, he'd been surrounded by the same small-minded, impolite, ignorant people in town. Their endless gossip, their nose-picking, chewing food with their mouths open, not washing their hands after visiting the restroom, and touching things. Touching everything. The world was going to hell. He'd watched day after day how all the nice things in life in Bright Falls were spoiled and ruined forever. There would be a just and terrible reckoning. Emmett had imagined many times how he'd make them pay. He had lovingly tended his anger, made it grow hotter. It was out in the open now. Ugly and slobbering, they reached at him with their unwashed hands. He'd beat them down, beat them until they no longer moved. And then he'd wash his hands with a strong antibacterial disinfectant.
To you too.
Is this something they watch at movie night? That looks just like Casey. What the hell is going on?
Well, that was normal, right? House of Zane. Renowned filmmaker establishes artist commune in Bright Falls. Thomas Zane, born Thomas Zine in Finland, and his partner Barbara Yeager, born Baba Yakla in Finland, have recently established an artist commune here in Bright Falls. Mr. Zane has purchased the old manor house outside town, and the couple has already settled in. In his home country, and internationally as well, Mr. Zane is a well-known and respected amateur filmmaker, a rising star already. Compared to the likes of Stanley Kubrick and Ingmar Bergman, his earlier film, Nightless Night, won a number of European Film Awards. Mr. Zane is currently in the process of filming a feature entitled Tom the Poet. In conversation, Mr. Zane comes across as a charismatic figure with big dreams. He talks about building a hotel and a film studio in the area. He even has a name picked out for a hotel, Ocean View Hotel. The reporter believes the name has a nice ring to it. Mr. Zane's dreams would certainly make Bright Falls a household name if they became reality. Members of the commune clearly feel the same, seeing Zane as a person worth revering, even to a faintly cult-like degree, a person who guides his flock to expand their consciousness and reach a higher state of artistic inspiration with the aid of magic mushrooms. While the Bright Falls record does not condone the use of illegal drugs, we hope Mr. Zane will help put our town on the artistic map. So, Ocean View Motel. Well, it's the motel from the last game, right? Remember that?
Cynthia Weaver had always kept her lantern close. Someone in the bathroom with her. In the dark. Dark water pressed itself into her. She screamed. Cynthia Weaver hated being old. She'd been a doer, a fighter. Now the bathroom frightened her, afraid she'd break her hip, like Norman. Cynthia had always kept her lantern close, to hold the darkness at bay. "Oh dear, my lantern. I think I've lost it," Cynthia said. "This will put a smile back on your face, my dear," a voice said. A man's voice. Someone in the bathroom with her, in the dark. The light bulb had blown. She meant to replace it days ago. How could she forget? She had slipped getting out of the tub. She lay in the tub now. She lifted her hand. It looked wrong. Too many hands. In a black void with no sense of up or down, she was underwater. A dark shape pushed her down. Dark water pressed itself into her. She screamed. It came out in bubbles.
Code is 273. Rose, if you see this, please remind the residents to leave my stuff alone. I think they hate me.
A fuse. Could come in handy.
Rose, spare fuses. Now locked away because someone, Adi, keeps stealing them. Code is in the laundry room. Yeah, we already know that.
I can't force it open.
Hmm.
Anything else I can do to help the hero?
Odin Anderson stirred in his bed, his vision hazy, smudged. He felt weighted down by an ocean of dark water. Through the haze, he made out Saga. Odin felt useless. He wished he could tell Saga how his silly faces made her smile when she was young. Too young to remember. Odin used to joke that Thor was her grandfather, but he was the Allfather. He smiled at the memory. Odin was the kinder of the Anderson brothers. Thor lacked patience, more volatile. The brothers fought a lot, but they were inseparable. Now Thor was missing, dragged into darkness. Odin could feel it. Time was running out for both of them.
Anger's Remorse. This is the one. But it's gone. Cynthia has the record. She will tell me where to find it. Cynthia targeted Tor specifically. Why him?
Deal with the nasty Anderson fellow. His heart was broken. Cancelled. Leaks started appearing. It was too late. Shut her out of her own case.
The Dark Presence is using Cynthia to keep me from talking to Tor. Where is Anger's Remorse now?
Diddy is a young girl in love. A rock and roll cliche. The shadows to come alive. A gift. An on-off death wish.
She has the record. I can get it out of her. Anger's Remorse. Where is it, Cynthia?
Drowned beneath dark water. Too many hands. The bathroom frightened her. Cut short. She screamed. An old folks' care home.
The Anger's Remorse record is in Cynthia's room. In her bathtub. Anger's Remorse is missing. Who took it?
Our shame becomes the pale horse. Oh, Tor. Bro. Tor's love for you is in that song. That's why Cynthia wants it, to ruin him. She made Tor lust after her. We fought one scratching hag years ago. Now he's fallen for another, and we might lose him for good. One less Anderson.
That isn't going to happen. Cynthia has Tor in the overlap. Anger's Remorse is the key to get there. I need to make Cynthia reveal its location.
Trashed hotel rooms and ruined pools. Crowds go wild for the Old Gods of Asgard Ragnarok tour. The rock and roll group Old Gods of Asgard are leaving chaos in their wake as they plow through the major U.S. cities on their aptly named Ragnarok tour. The band is breaking their sales records with singles topping the charts and had their latest sold-out concert in Long Beach, California. The fans showed their love for the reckless rockers by showering the stage with lacy unmentionables, black roses, and even full beer bottles. None of this phased the stars themselves to embrace the admiration and transition from song to song with such gusto that the audience was left catching their breath, eager to keep up with the brothers Anderson and their cohorts. After hours, shenanigans for the musicians included a pool in a private residential neighborhood left to be emptied and sanitized, and a hotel room nearly destroyed in classical fashion, not to mention the lengthy room service bill gone unpaid. All things pointed to this band quickly becoming a strong contender to the iconic Hall of Fame rock groups that came before them. Old Gods of Asgard party like their namesake and gave a performance like no other. Be sure to catch them on their tour and bear witness to rock history in the making. Always want to back out. It's annoying. Old Gods of Asgard, band member dead. The legendary heavy rock band Old Gods of Asgard mourns their loss of their divinely talented guitarist Bobby Balder. Fat Bobby, as he was affectionately and ironically called, died from compliments of severe illness, leaving his bandmates Odin and Tor Anderson behind. The peace-loving musician will be sorely missed. also by the band's numerous fans. When asked about his loss, Tor Anderson had this to say: "Get the expletive out of my face. Balder is in Valhalla now. He fought cancer like a hero. Bob was so beautiful, too beautiful a soul for this world," added Odin. What this means for the band and their upcoming album remains to be seen. Rock music, the ancient language of the soul. Muses, old gods of Asgard's lead singer. I sit down with the Anderson brothers of old gods of Asgard fame in the lobby of a rundown hotel somewhere in downtown Detroit, currently on the Ragnarok hit tour. The busy band members have only a moment to spare to a fledgling journalist and his questions before running off the sound check for their concert tonight. How has the reception been? Amazing. The fans understand what we're about. They get rock and roll. They get the spirit. They know we're not here to censored around. Oh, and that's censored, right? Why do you do what you do? Rinxious laughter. I can tell you're new at this, buddy. What does anyone do what they do? For the glory and the fame? For the money and the sex? Or because you have something inside you that is going to, censored, burst out if you don't start using it? Oh, it's the latter. That's good news. How about the music? Then what is it about music that compels you? That should be pretty censored obvious. This is boring me to death, bro. Let's get moving. Sorry, he's always impatient. As they stand up to leave for the tour bus, waiting outside, larger-than-life rockers turn around for one final quote. Music, especially rock and roll, is the ancient language of the soul man. It's in me. It's godly. And it'll come out like a blank thunderstorm.
Do you know anything about the Cult of the Tree?
Yes, yes. He who reaches for a spruce tree will stumble into a juniper. Blum was one of them. He has kicked empty. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. But I like his shoes.
How did you know Blum was part of the cult?
Oh, Fox never runs out of tricks. He's a crazy man, and he will show his ways. Blum like to talk.
Wheeler set up a foundation with the sales of their greatest hits album. He used the cash to build a nursing facility. The old men deserved it. An old manor in Bright Falls. Wheeler hired a contractor to have it refitted as an old folks' care home. At this point, Wheeler felt good about himself. He had a heart of gold. No need to feel guilty. Wheeler left the work to the contractor and returned to New York City. He had done his part. It was time to turn over a new leaf. The contractors figured out Wheeler was gone for good. They took the money and ran. When the fall rains came, the leaks started appearing.
Damn lights. Key fob's no good without power.
No use crying in the dark place. What has been has gone. But trouble doesn't look like this. You can go to the basement and check the generator. But look out. You can never know in which tree the devil sits.
The basement. Thanks.
He died already?
There. Power's back on.
Time was running out.
Shit. Careful, Saga.
It was too late. She was underwater. The nightmares were starting to creep in. He had it coming.
down? Was Cynthia into civil engineering?
That's where she used to stay.
The Dark Presence uses people's memories, their fears to corrupt them.
I went down the basement today to check the lights. I can't trust Boone to do it. He's too slow, but it's getting harder and harder for me to reach them. I can't keep up much longer. Tom's lamp is gone. The lamp with the angel on it. He always loved that lamp. It disappeared from my room. The darkness is here. After all these years, it took Tom's lamp. I know it did. The lights are going out more and more. There's no one left to stop it. I can't do it on my own. Not anymore. I have nothing left of Tom now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need Tom's lamp back. I need Tom back. The shadows are moving. There is no more light, no more lamps. I can't find my way out of the room. Someone locked the door. Did I lock it? Maybe Tom did. He probably did it to keep me safe. He is such a considerate man. Barbara doesn't deserve him. Tom could do so much better. Where did Tom's lamp go? I used to have it. I guess he took it back. That's fine. It was his after all. The shadows are moving. Did I write that? Nonsense. There are no shadows. It's just us, Tom and I, forever. I found something funny when I was down there, a newspaper article about Tom, but I called him a filmmaker. Tom didn't make movies. He was a poet, a magnificent poet. I dug around and found film equipment, supposedly also Tom's. What is happening? This isn't right. I know it isn't.
Cynthia was close to someone named Thomas Zane. Who is he?
Tom was back. Tom had enemies. In a fancy hotel. Just his imagination. The nightmare started to creep in. Cynthia Weaver smiled.
An old flame. Maybe Tom was taken. I'm guessing the woman in this photograph was not Cynthia's favorite. A lantern. Was Cynthia using it for protection? Did she know about the Dark Presence? A power station. Everyone needs a hobby, I guess. I feel like I'm missing some context here. Tor's a romantic, huh?
For a very special woman, T.
Cynthia would deal with the nasty Anderson fellow, Tor, always poking people with his hammer. He had it coming. Cynthia Weaver smiled. Lost without her lantern? Nonsense. Cynthia felt as giddy as a young girl in love. Cynthia had loved Thomas Zane. Tom only had eyes for Barbara. Barbara was bad news. Tom had seen it in the end. Cynthia had been there to comfort him. And when he left, Cynthia waited. Years of waiting. Now Tom had come back to her. They'd be together now. See the world. She'd always dreamed of seeing New York. They were there now in a fancy hotel. She drew a bath. She would become like Barbara. No, better. She sank into dark water. Into Tom. Tom had enemies plotting against him. Cynthia would deal with the nasty Anderson fellow, Tor, always poking people with his hammer. He had it coming. Anything for Tom.
Anger's Remorse by Old Gods of Asgard. I need to play it in the jukebox.
The dark water pressed itself into her.
Emergency muster point!
You all should stay out here a while. Until it's safe.
I'm happy to get out of that house. Isn't it strange that I've lived in Bright Falls my whole life, and I can't remember this building?
The house has always been here, Norman. Remember when that poor Nora girl drowned in the bunker? Those Andersons got it so cheap because it's haunted. You get what you pay for.
Is there anyone who didn't show up?
A few. Artie, Gil, Cynthia.
If they aren't here by now, then they aren't coming. It's important to be punctual. On that topic, I'd like to point out that our nightly decaf coffee service is almost half an hour behind schedule.
Have any of you noticed anything odd about Ms. Weaver?
Just that Tor won't leave the poor woman alone. That brute wants one thing, and one thing only.
Cynthia's gotten downright bossy. Take a swim in the pond, Norman. Drink some water, Norman. Well, no one tells Norman McDonald what to do.
Hello there. Are you Pat Maine from the radio?
That's me. And you're the federal agent everyone's been talking about. Would you have time for an interview at some point?
Oh, sorry. I'm kind of in a hurry right now. Love your show, though. Very informative.
Thank you. Never compromise on quality. That's my motto. Yeah, but I'd be happy to have you on the show anytime. Me and my listeners.
Yeah. You boys.
Mandy May, are you alright? You're bleeding.
Oh, how did that happen? Oh, don't be a crybaby, Norman. It's nothing. I just poked my finger knitting this monster of a blanket.
Why are we out here again?
Auntie said we'd be safe on the porch.
Safe from what? I bet Tor is having one of his drunken fits again.
The song will show me the way.
Look in the mirror, the cobweb of my soul. Out of the face forever. Question. Began to be whole. Driven by passion, raging like a storm. With thunder and lightning and hubris out.
The overlap is at the pond.
Body of missing youth discovered in flooded bunker. The local Nora Hesberg, age 15, who went missing on Saturday of last week, was discovered dead in the sealed underground bunker near Valhalla Nursing Home in Bright Falls. Cause of death has been determined to be drowning. The incident occurred during a gathering of local youth at the bunker. Nora was first reported missing by her parents Sunday morning when they discovered their daughter had not returned home the night before. The police were contacted and they received a tip to check the bunker from one of the victim's acquaintances. Police are treating the tragedy as an accident. The community mourns the losses of its youth, or of its young member. You okay over there, Mr. Sneezy Pants? Okay, good.
What are you doing? Help me, please.
This isn't real.
Help me. I can't.
Fuck this place. Am I going in circles?
Yes. That's weird. Hello?
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, sorry for interrupting you on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right, you're working. I was like, why is he calling? He's not working, but you are.
So, I was just calling to let you know that I do have the key and the code. I got to run down to there to get some stuff of my tools.
Alright, that's fine.
Yep, so if the alarm fucks up or anything, that's because I'm there.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, bye.
Bye. Must be after 2 already. Or no, 3, because they weren't supposed to work there till 3. Ridiculous. Stop it. You little bumblebutts. Alright, what did I miss? That's what I was missing, is this.
The wall just disappeared. The light did that?
Yes, ma'am, the light did that.
Closer. Destroy. The only way.
It's a loop, like the others. I need to reach the center. Cynthia. She's here. A dead end. Ugh, back here again. Locked. The key has to be nearby.